All right, welcome, bitches, to the Transformation Nurse Academy podcast. I'd like to welcome Alicia Tresidder. Did I
Trisitter.
say it right?
Trisitter.
Tresidder. See, I told you I'd fuck up her name. There's a previous podcast I was talking about you. I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna fuck up her name. So one more time, tell everybody your name.
Alicia Trisitter.
And so tell us a little bit about you, Alicia. Where you from? What do you do? Where were you born? Things like that. Let's start from the beginning. So just so you know, bitches, we're gonna do a 3 or 4 series episode on her life because I think it's very fascinating. But go ahead.
So I was born in Modesto. I moved a lot. Have a older sister and an older brother. Went through a lot of trauma growing up. I would have to say my first memory after was probably about 3 when I had my first memory, and that was when my father passed away and I was at his funeral. A lot of people think it's weird that at 3 you can remember those things. And I remember the casket, there was 21 pink balloons, and I was wearing a sailor dress with my Mary Janes and white stockings.
Even though you were young, you said you were 3. You seem to remember very vividly. Do you feel that
Mhm.
it traumatized you at all? Is it a trauma type memory or it's just a memory since you didn't know him that well?
I think it was just a memory. I think what traumatized me is I remember visiting him in the hospital before he passed away,
Hmm.
and because
What
he
did he
missed
pass
my
away
3rd.
from?
He passed away from hepatitis D. He
D.
was yeah, he was a heroin
Hepatitis
addict.
D. Mm,
Yeah, he was a heroin addict. He got a dirty needle. He
yeah.
had went on a binge, and this is, of course, what I was told later. But I remember visiting him in the hospital. He was in ICU, and I remember back then they used to give you like nice looking pants, hospital pants, and they had like this really pretty teardrop. And also back then, you used to be able to smoke in the hospital. But I
Right. How long ago
remember
was
because I
this?
remember the
You
smell.
ain't that damn old. How old is this? How long
That
ago was this?
so that was 1983. I'm 40. I just turned
19?
44.
Damn, you old.
I'm old and I'm loving it and I'm owning it. It's
That's
okay.
good
I've
though.
earned my stripes. I remember being there and visiting him, and because he missed my 3rd birthday, and then I remember he was in isolation. And so he gave me my gift, and it was a Mr. Potato Head. And I was just so excited. Shortly after that, I would say what traumatized me is I had to go, and it's sad that it's not sad. It is, but it isn't. I had to go get testing. So my mom and I both had to get testing weekly for hepatitis. And this lasted, I don't remember how long it lasted, but it traumatized me. I hated needles after that. I mean, many people hate needles. Well, the reason I hate needles is because of that. But and then I had to go through and get all the vaccinations, and then but the testing was just ridiculous. It was very rigorous.
How long did you have to do it for? I want to know if
6
it was rigorous
months?
because back then we weren't savvy about hepatitis, or maybe that's just the way. Because I don't know. Is it like that today?
I
See
don't
what I
know
mean?
because no, you're right. So back then, what they did, we had to do it for first set was 3 months, and then we had to do 3 more months. So it was a total of 6 months that we had to constantly get tested. And now, no, what they just do it tighter now.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I bet you back
Yeah,
then we probably just didn't understand it. Because
didn't
I'm
know.
looking here, hepatitis D spreads by blood products, unclean needles, or unscreened
Mhm.
blood. I think a lot of older people are starting to pop up because we didn't really screen back in the day when old
Right,
people got blood transfusions by
right.
having unprotected vaginal, anal, or oral sex, or by mother to baby, by pregnancy, labor, nursing. So maybe that's why they made you do it because you were so young, and I'm
Mhm,
sure. Yeah, I get
mhm.
that.
Yeah.
That's crazy, huh?
Absolutely was, and so it was traumatic because I mean, I was 3, and then he started convulsing, and then he died shortly thereafter. So he was only 21 when he passed away. And then, seeing the things growing up, we were living at my grandpa's, and there was weird people in the house, and there were fights. It was interesting to watch fights, like, things that,
Like
young
physical fights?
physical fights,
Right,
things that young kids should not see,
right.
and I mean, these people are full on just brawling. And always the one that was like, I was standing back, like, I don't, just watching these people, like, I don't know what's going on. I don't, I remember my uncle coming over though, my dad's uncle coming over, and he's like, "Hey, come here," and he moved me from the situation, and he's like, "How are you?" And he had a diesel. He was a big rig driver, and
Right.
he was like, "Oh, look at this," and I was like, "Oh, this is cool," and it distracted me. So then I didn't have to see that because the police came and stuff, and so it was interesting growing up in Modesto. I mean, I lived in a lot of different areas of Modesto. One of them was called Airport District, which is now the like nobody goes to Airport District unless you know somebody or you live there.
Why is that like the hood where all the gangs
Yeah,
are
it's
or where all the
it's the
shootings are?
yep, it is the
Hooker
hood.
Hills,
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah, but back
Can I
then,
go get a
my
hooker for like 5 or 10 bucks?
pretty much you probably get for a dime. But, and mad respect to my people in Airport District, but my grandma and grandpa, they built their house there. And so that was the place. I
Are they
remember
still there?
snapping, they both passed. The house is still there. I drove by, which is like the size of a garage, but the
Crazy, isn't
fond
it?
it is. And so I remember sitting on the porch and snapping peas with grandma and all of that and helping in the garden and those playing with my cousins and my sister, my brother, and everybody just hanging out. It was
So you
nice.
told Yeah, so you told me that you were born in Modesto in
Mhm.
1980. You told me but you moved around a lot. You said you moved to Sonora, California. I think you
Yeah.
said Arizona, and what was the other place? Georgia.
Georgia. Mhm.
So talk about those places a little bit. Why did you move to Sonora and all these different places? Why did you move a lot? I asked you if you were a
So
military brat.
no, I wish. I wish I was. So we moved a lot. There was a lot of evictions because my mother had a gambling addiction.
Now, does your mama
And
know? Is your mom still alive? Can I ask that?
yes, she is.
Is she gonna be
Yes.
mad at you talking about this shit?
I don't care.
Oh, all right. Well, I mean, I gotta ask because some people might get their feelings hurt.
Yeah, no, she knows that she has a gambling issue, and but that's
Still,
what yes.
all
But
right.
with her phone now. So, that's she likes to play her games on the phone, and that's her money and her life, and she can do what she wants, and I love her for who she is, and it doesn't matter, but that's why we moved a lot. We moved a lot
But look at you.
because
You look at you though. You said and I don't mean to interrupt, but you
no,
said
you're good.
you grew up in a fucked up way. How you know
Yeah,
she didn't grow in a fucked up way, and maybe that's
she
her
did.
way of dealing with how she grew up and shit. You know
And
what I
that's
mean?
exactly it. That's exactly what happened, and I found out later, the stuff that she had gone through. Some of it I remember, and some of it, she's told me, and I'm like, "Well, I get that, but we have to make a healthier choice." And I tell her that, I'm like, "You just have to be mindful. As long as your bills are paid, okay, you do what you want."
Right.
But, and that was something that was self-taught. I wasn't taught finances. I wasn't taught how to manage my money. I
Right.
wasn't. And
I
case
don't
in
think any
point.
of us are. That's why I don't think
Yeah,
any of us grew up that way. They took all that shit out of school, and that's why we're fucked up financially because
right.
nobody teaches us how to manage our money and stuff. Yeah, I get that.
Exactly. Exactly. And so we moved up to Sonora. I love Sonora. My stepdad, he was amazing. He was very influential and taught stability and safety. And he just kind of went with the flow the best that he could because my mama wore the pants in the family. And that was
I
okay.
think most women do.
Yeah. And that was
Men
okay.
love pussy,
And
so we do whatever you tell us to do.
I even told him, I said, you could divorce her, right? And I'll go with you. And
Yeah, but
he
that
goes,
pussy must
I
have been
love
good.
her. It was that good. I was like, shit must have
Right.
been made with gold. I don't know, but go ahead. You do you, boo. But he taught me stability and he taught me it was important to get an education. I was the first to graduate high school in my family. And
Was he a high
so,
school graduate, your stepdad?
yes,
Right.
yes, he wanted to go into the service, but he blew out his knee. So that didn't happen. But yeah, he graduated high school. He did a little bit of college and stuff. So he was definitely my biggest
Cheerleader.
cheerleader, supporter. He went to all of the things that I had done. We moved back and forth. We moved up to Sonora. We were up there for the longest time. and then we moved to Patterson, and then we moved to Georgia. So we went all the
Where
way
where
across country.
what about Arizona?
Well, Arizona was after
After
Georgia.
Georgia? All right, so let's
Mhm.
go to Georgia. Where in Georgia?
Brunswick, Georgia. My uncle
I don't
still
know what
lives there. Brunswick,
you keep
Georgia
going. You
is
keep going. I'm gonna look it up on the map and shit while you keep telling
yeah.
us about
So
Georgia.
Brunswick, Georgia is right off of St. Simon's Island. It's about 20 to 30 minutes, I want to say, from Jacksonville and south of Savannah.
Oh yeah, it's like in a
Georgia,
little cove and shit. That'd been nice.
yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. It was
Well, why the fuck
beautiful.
did you leave that damn place? Look at this place. Shit. I want to move to Brunswick, Georgia. This is
I
nice.
it's
Oh, it's
gorgeous.
right off the
So,
fucking coast and shit.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah, it's like in a
So,
little it's like in a little I don't know what do you call that, like a little not a peninsula, but like a
it's like
uh,
Monterey.
yeah, it's
It's
nice.
like Monterey, like that
What the fuck? I
peninsula.
would have stayed there. Mama used to go back to California. I'm fucking staying here. Who
So
did you move with?
I moved with my mom and my stepdad, my grandma, my grandpa, my uncle, my uncles, three of the uncles, and my sister. So we all moved.
And how old were you then?
I was 10 or
All right.
11 when we moved there. I remember I was in 5th grade. When we moved there shortly after, I remember Hurricane Hugo came through. That
Oh yeah, I
was
remember that.
that was crazy.
You making me fucking
Um
feel old and shit.
Because you are, how old are you?
I just turned 55 last December, see.
Oh, see, and you sitting here saying I'm old. Okay. You're the same age as my husband, so you're fine.
I'm
I
a
call
senior
him old
citizen now.
man.
Look, yeah,
Yeah, you get that senior discount.
what's your husband's name?
John.
Tell John I'm fucking pissed off because we can't even get a fucking senior citizen discount at Denny's no more or the movies because they moved it to 62.
Shut up.
See, and by the time him and I become 62, they'll fucking move it to 65 or some
I
shit.
know. This is so true. So true.
Bullshit, man.
Oh, I tell you. But Georgia was beautiful. I really liked Georgia. I learned a lot. We called it woods. I met a lot of amazing people. Dealt with a lot of diversity. So I am the darkest
What do
in
you
my
mean by
family.
diversity?
Well, people thought that I was in Georgia, they're still stuck in the old ways.
Right,
And my uncle and my sister could not be seen with me because I look mixed.
right.
And
Are you mixed?
I am mixed. I'm half Thai and half white.
So what kind of people live in Georgia?
Well, there's a lot of African American people, and they were great to me. I had a couple that wanted to fight
Right,
me.
but all the old white people,
All the old white people,
the
and a lot of
plantation owners?
yes, and oh my god, the plantations were absolutely gorgeous and
Right,
beautiful. But I remember, and it happened to be our neighbor.
right.
She was friends with my sister. And then she thought I was a cousin or something, or adopted. Everybody thought I was adopted. We'll get into that one. But everybody thought I was
Well, cause you know,
adopted.
we don't have no Asian people here in Georgia.
Right.
What's that little Asian girl here doing in Georgia and shit?
Yeah, and they
Y'all
they
must
didn't.
adopted her to help her out.
I'm telling you, they didn't like it. My sister got stabbed with a pencil in the
Oh
hallway.
shit.
One of my memories, the neighbor girl decided to start a fight with me. So I was in and out of the hospital in Georgia because I kept getting pneumonia because of the
Mm.
humidity.
I don't understand. It doesn't make sense. How the fuck you get pneumonia from the humidity?
Okay. So
That don't
when
make sense. I don't believe it. While you're talking,
I
I'm gonna
know,
Google that shit because that don't
that's
make
go
fucking sense
ahead,
to me.
Google it. This is what
That
the
don't make
doctors
sense.
told my mom.
I think the
So
doctor's full of shit.
that could be. So I always had a very weak immune system. My tonsils, when I was born, were the size of a man's fist, and they
This
had to
fucking article's from the 1980s too. The weather
see.
and deaths from pneumonia. I don't know if I believe that shit though.
I'm living proof. So
Yeah,
okay,
but I don't know
so
if that's true. But you keep going. I'm
I
calling
will.
bullshit.
You go ahead. So I always had a weak immune system. So they had to wait till I was 3 because back in the 80s, they wouldn't do surgery on children until they were 3. Well, at least they wouldn't remove my tonsils until I was 3.
Hmm.
So I kept aspirating and getting aspiration pneumonia and couldn't breathe and all this and that. So, anyways, so when we were in Georgia, I know I kept getting pneumonia. And so I remember I broke my ankle. We were playing in the gym, and this kid, Jerome, stuck his foot out while I was running around. We were running corners.
You're like a
Oh my
magnet to people who wanna fuck you up.
I tell you. And I stepped, oh my gosh, and I snapped my ankle. I remember he got in trouble. He had to carry my book, he had to carry my lunch tray, he had to walk me to my class. I had a cast on my leg up to my knee. And that was before, you had to put a garbage bag on your foot, if you wanted to get into the water.
Right. Right,
We'd go
right.
to St. Simon's Island and we would get in the water and they had to put a black trash bag around my leg. That was fun. But anyhow, we had a good time. I got in my first fight in Georgia with the neighbor girl, but it was beautiful. We went to Savannah. Savannah has an amazing train museum. Oh, it's gorgeous. And the plantations, absolutely beautiful. And just diving into the culture and the food. Oh my gosh, the
Right.
food was amazing. It was
Right.
the first time I ever had, I remember having gator. We had
Oh,
alligator
yeah.
tail
I love
sandwiches.
alligator tail,
Oh
yeah.
my
That shit's good.
gosh.
People
So
that's
good.
good. Right. You ever eat
So good.
chitlins?
Yes.
Greens?
Mhm.
Mustard
Mhm.
greens, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. You ever eat
I loved
boudin?
it. Oh, I love boudin balls. Come
See?
on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, see? So,
So,
that's good.
I
But
love
so you
that.
moved from Georgia to Arizona so you could go from the
Yes.
humidity to the dry to dry out your lungs and shit?
Pretty much. So we
I'm
were
still
there
calling
for
bullshit.
about
Did you have pneumonia when you went to Arizona?
no.
What the fuck?
So we moved from Georgia and went to Arizona. I don't even know why we moved, but we moved, to be honest. And then my
Your
grandma
mama got
still
tired of taking
stayed.
your ass to the hospital.
She did. So then we moved to Arizona. My sister was still in Georgia. So me, my mom, and my dad, my
Wait, who'd your
stepdad
sister live
moved.
with?
She lived with my grandma, with my Mima.
The one that moved to Georgia with you?
Hmm.
Or is that the same grandma and grandpa that owned the house in Modesto?
Yes.
All right.
And so,
Why
well,
didn't you
no,
stay?
the one in Modesto was my great grandma.
Oh, I
This
got you.
was my grandma. So they
So let me ask
stayed.
you this. Since your sister stayed there with your grandma and grandpa, did she turn out better or worse than you? Or the same?
We, I think we
And I,
turned
I don't
out the
mean better or
same.
worse like
No,
in
you're good.
yeah.
No, no, no.
But you know what I mean? Like you still stayed in a kind of a fucked up situation even though you had stability with your stepdad.
Yeah.
But was your grandma and grandpa more stable than where you were at? See?
That damn. Okay,
No, but
so
you get what I mean?
I do, I do.
Because my
So
big, well, you think about this. Because my biggest regret, I have an older son, and I don't want to shame him or anything, but my older son he was a heroin addict.
mhm,
You know, he always blames me and shit. And maybe I am partly responsible because I moved around a lot in the army and shit. My
mhm,
biggest regret was not leaving him with my mother, who was stable. She lived in one place. She never fucking went anywhere else. You know, she was stable. You know what
mhm.
I mean? She had a job, she had a house, but me, I moved around, I drank, I cursed, and I probably fucked them up a little bit because I was a young kid and shit. So that's why I
Right.
wonder, was your grandparents more stable than what you had and shit? Because moving around a lot can fuck people up.
So we're gonna get into this then. We're gonna get into this. Here we
All
go.
right.
Are you
No, no,
ready?
I mean we don't have to do it now, but I'm just
Oh
asking
no,
and
but
shit because
no.
I haven't finished asking all these other questions yet.
I
So,
know. Okay, so then we could either table that. So yes, it was better, but it wasn't better at the same time.
all right. So we'll
So
talk about it later then. All
yeah.
right, I get you. All right, all right, all right.
Oh, I'll
So let's
fill in
go.
those blanks.
All right, all right.
You're
Let's
gonna
go. All right,
love it.
so so
You're
let's
gonna
go
love it.
on. So we went from Georgia to Arizona.
Yes, so we went to Georgia to Arizona. So me, my mom, and my stepdad, and that was great. And we stayed in the same place, which was nice. Got to know a lot of people. Loved Arizona. I loved the weather, the sunsets, the sunrise, the activities, everything.
So then why
My
the fuck did
heart
you
is
move?
100% in Arizona.
Then
Well,
why
so
did you
then
move?
we we went back to Georgia because we had
Oh,
to get my grandmother
mm,
from
that's
her
that's
abusive
for the next episode.
relationship. It will definitely be for the next episode. So we go back to Georgia. We got my sister and my grandma and my uncle Curry, and we came back to Arizona. We brought them back with us.
What happened to your grandpa?
He's still in Georgia.
Oh, okay, all right.
Georgia laws are different.
I know,
Georgia
I know,
laws are different.
I
So
know. People don't
we
believe this, but there's still laws on the books in the South where you
yes.
can't marry. I know, but like if I married a black woman or a black guy married a white woman, it's illegal. You can't have anal sex, it's
Yeah.
illegal.
It's
You
not
can't suck a dick, that's illegal. Look,
right, and
Florida, today, 2024 Florida, you can't even say the word gay.
oh, good thing we're in California.
It's
But
crazy, right? Like,
in Georgia, it is not wrong. Here's a fun fact. In Georgia, it is not wrong for a husband to hit his wife.
oh, even today,
Yeah.
is it still on the
So,
books?
yeah.
That's crazy, huh?
I
Come here, let me
know.
hit you, woman. Let me hit you.
Yeah, yeah. So we went back to Arizona and then we stayed there for gosh, we were still there for a long time. My sister met her now husband, still married, still together. I knew him before her cuz I went to school with his siblings. So that's amazing. They still treat me like
So you're
family.
saying your sister was a cock blocker? She stole a nice guy.
Oh no, he was way
What the
older than me.
fuck?
I was good. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm.
Ah,
I'm good.
well, look at me.
They
Well, your husband's 10 years older than you. Apparently, you
Oh,
like old
yes.
men.
Well, not then
See?
I didn't. Not then I didn't. I was like, "Oh, no." But, then we left Arizona. My sister stayed with her boyfriend, now husband, and we went to Groveland. We had to move from Arizona. I had
What the
gotten
fuck is
in with
Groveland?
Groveland is here in California. It's north
Oh,
of
shit.
Sonora. Groveland,
Oh,
California.
never heard of that fucking place.
I'd gotten into the wrong crowd in
I can't
Arizona.
imagine why.
Yeah, so it was
There's a
time to
Groveland,
go.
Florida, too.
Oh,
Groveland, California. I don't see a Groveland. GRO, like, oh, yeah, there it is.
yeah.
Unincorporated. It is near Chinese camps, Nellens. No,
Mhm.
oh, yeah, I got you. So, oh,
Yeah.
Angels camps on the other side,
Mhm.
395. I got you.
Yeah.
All right.
So we went to Groveland and then we
So
went
you were
back
a mountain
down.
girl.
Oh, yes, 100%. Because we lived a lot in Sonora. Like I went to high school in Sonora. Then when my mom moved us, it's like the timeline, like Arizona was part of elementary, middle school, Georgia was elementary. Then when we moved to Arizona, it was finishing elementary, then middle school. We went to Groveland, staying in a trailer on my aunt's property. Then we went to Sonora and then we moved back down to Modesto my junior year of high school.
And you graduated in Modesto?
I
Graduated
did.
high school in Modesto?
I did. I ended up doing I went to Thomas Elliott for my senior year because I became pregnant.
How old
I
were you when you got pregnant?
I was 17 when I got pregnant
Mhm.
with my first, and that
Mhm.
was with my I had met him when I was 16. I got pregnant at 17.
I know, but it fits the
Um,
picture because your
yeah,
mom and dad seem to probably, got pregnant young.
yeah.
I don't
My
know
mom
how
was
educated
15.
they were. Yeah, I don't know how educated they were or were not. There was a lot of
Mhm.
drama and stress in your life, so you didn't have good resources, so, you know,
Yeah,
the
it
cycle
was it
wasn't broken. Yeah,
yeah, exactly, and
I get you.
so I changed to independent studies. I'd moved out of the
You're
house
one
when I
of
was
those students.
17. I am. I am. My senior year, I went to independent studies because I started having complications with the pregnancy.
Mm.
I moved out
Maybe
of my
from the
mom.
humidity?
Stop. No. And so I did that, and then I ended up at 20 weeks losing my son.
Shit, I didn't know that. You never told me that. Wait, say that one more time. Let's back up again. Say that again.
My first pregnancy was at 17. I went to independent studies because I was having
I know, but you said at
complications.
20 weeks?
20 weeks pregnant, I found out I had a boy
Mm,
and he had no heartbeat. I
yeah.
ended up
See, you never
losing
told me that.
him.
How does that affect you today?
Oh, it still affects me. His name would have been Andrew, and he would be 28 in September.
Crazy, isn't it?
It is.
Does it
And
still
so
bother you? Does it still hold
it
on to
does.
that?
I do. I do. I do still hold on to it.
See, it's weird because women, you're attached to the baby. It's part of you. Men wouldn't probably think second, twice about it. But
Yeah.
women,
No,
we
my
don't, and we don't,
ex-husband, he's still attached. He's still.
is that right? Is
Mhm.
that right?
Mhm.
Do you think
Mhm.
that caused any problems in your relationship?
It
That
did.
issue right there? Yeah.
It did. It definitely did. I mean, we were young. We got married when I was 18 after I graduated high school. I refused to marry him until I graduated high school. I got to speak at my graduation. I was asked to do a speech.
Fucking have sex and get pregnant before you graduate. Is that
Yeah,
what you told the kids?
pretty much.
Don't be a fool.
You
Wrap your
know?
tool.
Yeah, exactly. And we got married and kind of it started from there. Right after I we got married, our it changed. Everything kind of changed from there.
So I'm gonna ask you a different question. I'm gonna change. We'll get into that too,
Mhm.
but I'm gonna
Yeah.
change. So, how did your family cope with the challenges of the eviction and homelessness? Because you said you were homeless. We talked about this off screen. You said you were
Yeah.
homeless. So, how did your family cope with the challenges of all the evictions and the homelessness, and how did it affect the family dynamics?
So
And was your stepdad with you when you got evicted, or was it before him?
yes. No, he was with us. We lived in the back of a Pinto, and we would sleep next to the railroad tracks because it was bright.
You still with your mama?
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn,
Wait. And
that's a man
so
right there.
I know. Then we lived in Apex Motel next to Yosemite Lanes in Modesto. So my sister got to stay with my grandma, but my mom always kept me with her. She didn't let me go stay with the grandparents while we were going through it. So
Maybe because
they
she was so worried about yours being sick and ill, and maybe she felt like she could take better care of you and keep an eye on you.
yeah,
Maybe that's a
yeah,
motherly instinct. At least
it
she didn't leave your
definitely.
ass.
She didn't leave me, exactly, and so, it changed it because then everybody was giving kinda tough love, which I see now, and
Wait,
I
what do you
still
mean
had
tough love? You giving tough love or her giving tough love?
no, so
What do you mean by that?
the family, like, the grandparents were giving my mom and my dad tough love, like, "We're not gonna bail you out, you guys need to figure this out,
Oh, I got
we
you.
can't keep giving you money, we can't keep doing this because
But
you
you say
guys
your
need to
dad, but
figure
do you
it
mean your
out."
stepdad or your real dad?
My stepdad, sorry.
So, but
Yeah.
I mean, what does he do? I mean, what was he doing at the time? How come he
Um
didn't put her in check? Look at me, you were in Georgia, he could have hit her ass and shit. I'm just teasing everybody. Don't get fucking crazy. It's a joke. All right. But
No,
I'm just curious why he didn't like listen, motherfucker. We gotta get our shit together.
yeah, they got into a lot of fights, and then finally he put his foot down. He says, "This isn't a way to raise her. This isn't a home that she should be living in. And this is not going to happen anymore." And so he was working and everything. And so we got a place. We lived there for the longest time. It was nice to have a stability, you
Right.
know. So that worked out. And then things just started changing where we weren't living in a car anymore, living in the motel and eating out, eating at
That's
Happy
because he
Steak.
stood up and became a man and said, listen, we ain't doing this shit no more.
Yes,
You pussy
exactly.
good, but it ain't that motherfucking good.
Yeah, we can't do
I
this
know,
to
but sometimes
her.
it's hard because if he wasn't raised a certain way, I mean, if he was raised a certain way and didn't have any male role models to deal, to
Yeah.
learn how to
No,
deal with this shit,
he had an amazing family. So my
so then why
grandfather,
do you think he put up with so much
I
shit?
well, he was the
I gotta
kid.
see a picture of your mama when she was young. I gotta see this.
I have one. I have one. I'll show
I need to
you.
see how hot she is and shit. Cause like, fuck me. I mean, I've been through a lot of
She
shit too. I put up with a lot of shit as a dude, so
Yeah.
I get it. I'm
And
not
he
mad at him. I get
did.
it.
He
We're stupid.
did.
We do stupid shit for y'all guys.
And I would tell him, like, "Why are you doing this? Why?" But he started seeing and he says, "No, this isn't okay. This isn't okay." And so he put his foot down and my mom didn't wanna lose him, so she listened to what he had to say.
But do you ever talk to him now about it and ask him what the fuck he was thinking?
He passed away 3 months before I graduated from nursing school.
Oh shit. I'm sorry about that.
It's okay.
I know,
It's
but
alright.
still, like, you got a lot of you need a fucking cleansing and shit.
Like, dude, we
We need to
ain't
do a
even
cleansing on we
we
need to do a
ain't even
cleansing on your ass and shit.
I'm telling you, we ain't even tapped into it all yet. But
That's crazy as shit.
I think it brought us together. I mean, we went to the church, the churches had the food boxes and that
Right.
imitation cheese and
That
them
was my favorite.
juices. I loved
Hmm.
remember the little jug juices? Oh, those were
We didn't have that
bomb.
when I grew up. We only had the
Oh,
cheese, the beans, the rice, and
uh-huh.
powdered milk.
Yep. Love
We
that
didn't have
powdered
juice
milk.
back
It was
then.
really good on your Cheerios. There
That
was
was
nothing
fucking
wrong with
nasty
it.
as fuck.
I used to eat
Oh yeah, we
Tang
had Tang too. That's
sandwiches.
right.
Did you ever put
Yeah,
it
we
on
did get
toast?
no, but we
Oh,
did
you
have
gotta do
Tang.
the butter?
I just drank it. Yeah, we
Yeah.
did. Oh, that's right. We got butter, cheese,
Uh-huh.
rice, and beans and powdered milk.
Yep.
Yeah, but we didn't have juice and
Yeah.
shit back then. So that's
So
true.
we had they started doing the jug juice. Oh, the jug
Jug
juice.
juice.
Oh, it was
That sounds
good.
like syrup.
It was so good.
You
You
know
can
what
still get it
scissors,
at
scissor.
it's
I don't know how you say. It, you know what I mean. It's the
yeah.
Kool
Yeah.
Aid and I
Yeah.
don't know what the hell what is it they put in Kool Aid some type of alcohol and a cough syrup.
Oh,
You don't know about that?
what do they call it?
That's the
I
shit
do
that
know
the
what you're
fucking
talking about.
people that's the shit that people would get high on. It's like Kool-Aid,
I heard
cough
about
syrup,
that.
and you never heard about that?
No, I have, but I forget what
I
it's
don't remember how they
called.
call it, scissors. I don't remember what they call it, but it would
I
get you
don't
fucked
either.
up.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Hey,
But
look,
so
that's what I heard anyway.
yeah, yes, that's what we heard. But I think it brought us close. Going through those hard times, it creates a bond. Whether it's a
Crazy
healthy
bond with
bond,
who? Because I look
with
at
my
me.
mom
I
and
went through the same kind of shit you did, but I did not have a bond with my mother. We didn't talk forever and shit because I was very resentful about it. Like I didn't talk to her. Now, my biggest regret now is looking back, being old. I can see that she probably came from a fucked up background, and I didn't know how
mhm,
to deal with it. Now that I wish I'd have known, so we could have these conversations, but I did not have a
right.
bond. I had more of a bond with my dad, even though he left us. It's
Yeah.
weird as shit. Like him and I were like this, but my
Mhm.
mother and I were like, I don't get that shit.
So I'm definitely a daddy's girl, but one of the things that it taught me is there's that family bond. It's like no matter what, because I couldn't make friends because I didn't know if I was moving.
Yeah, I didn't
So
make
I just
friends
kind of
either.
kept to myself, and because I didn't know, am I going to be here tomorrow? Am I going to be here next week? I don't know, and so I didn't want to get close to people, and so it just taught me that you will always have family.
I didn't
That
even
was my
think that
thing.
way. Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe I know I'm not being sick. Maybe that's a woman thing because I didn't even think about. I didn't even have a sense of family and shit. Not at all.
yeah, yeah.
I didn't. Were you and your sister close?
Not growing up, we weren't
See what I mean?
close
So that's what I mean. Like I
to a
don't
point.
even. Yeah, but
Yeah,
I don't
we
even.
fought a lot.
Me and my brother did too. It's just me and my brother.
Yeah,
My older sister died before I was born, so I don't. I don't know. It's just weird how you feel like you have this sense of family, but I didn't even have that shit.
yeah.
It's weird.
It is weird, but I had that sense of family because I still would go see my grandparents and stuff like that, and it was just I liked that. I didn't get to see my sister all the time, and I didn't see my brother all the time because my brother lived with his father. But when he was around, like him and I were closer. Me and my sister fought. I was mad at my sister for
How
leaving,
how old is
and
she? She older or younger than you?
she's older.
How much older?
She just turned 47.
So it's only a couple years older than you, 3 years older than you.
Yeah, and then my
Was she
brother, he will
physically was she physically abusive to you? Your sister?
no, we did get into a fight once. Our we had family mediation back then, and if we had issues, we had to go outside
What
and
the
fight.
fuck is that?
So if we were fighting, we would yell at each other, whatever.
No, but
Then,
who was doing the mediating?
so what they did is my mom, my stepdad, my grandma would sit on a chair and tell us, "Okay, fight."
Mm.
And so we fought, and then I got grounded.
When you say your
So
grandma, is that your grandma from your stepdad's side or from your mom's side?
my mom's side.
You think that's a cultural thing? Like you go because you said your mom was Thai.
Oh no, so my okay, so my this is fun. This is you're gonna learn so much,
I am.
Kevin. Okay, so I have to fast forward real quick. When I was 20 and I had my first daughter, had my first child, my husband at the time thought I was cheating on him because my daughter came out looking Asian. I then found out the man who we buried when I was 3 was not my father.
Oh shit. So
I
now
then
you're
found
really
out,
fucked up.
yeah,
I know, but you mourned over him. You were tortured
I
over him
did.
to see him in the
Yeah,
hospital, and
yeah,
then to find out that that motherfucker not even your real daddy. That's
yes,
like, holy
yes.
fuck.
After I had my child in
That's
the
terrible though.
delivery room.
Were
It
you
is.
mad at your mama?
Yes.
I would be too. I'm like, what the fuck, bitch? You
I
got me
yelled
in
at
trouble with my
her.
damn husband and shit because you didn't tell me the shit.
Yeah, yeah.
So your kid looked what? Asian?
Asian.
And you didn't know you were Asian.
No. I always
What'd you
got
think you
made fun
were?
of. I always got made fun of growing up by my brother, my sister, my uncle, my cousins, all that. They would tell me I looked Chinese. They told me I looked Indian. They were like, "We don't know
That's
what
fucked up.
you are." And they even
You a
told me
mutt.
the joke. Yeah. Yeah, they're like, "You're adopted."
Oh, fuck, that's fucked up. See, that's even
Yeah.
more fucked up.
I know. They used to tell me I was adopted and they used to not want to play with me. They're like, "You're not our."
But is your mom a Thai?
No, my mom was white.
Oh, so your mom was white, but she married a
Blonde hair,
Thai,
blue eyes.
but she got
She
pregnant
cheated on
by?
she cheated on her husband, the one that died, who I thought was my
Oh,
father. She cheated
shit.
on him.
With a Thai guy?
Mhm.
That's a rhyme there, Thai guy. Oh shit. That's crazy. See, look at that. So damn, that's even more fucked up. That's good. Damn.
Oh, it's gonna get even
And
better,
your
I'm
mama
telling
still
you.
living?
Yes.
Man, we need to go fuck with your mama. Like, what the fuck?
I know. No, I tried to have this
It
conversation
must
with
have been the
her.
blue eyes. That's why your stepdaddy's still with us. Blonde hair, blue eyes and shit.
I tell
What's
you, this
what's the ethnicity of your stepdad?
he was Irish and German. He
Oh,
was
so
white.
he was with another white. All right, gotcha. All right.
Yeah,
That's fucked up, man.
yeah.
Here you are, your
That's
mom's blonde hair, blue eyed, and you look a little Asian or Hispanic, and everybody's like,
yeah,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
yeah. And you know what
So
my
that's
mom used
why
to
in
tell
Georgia
me?
they thought you were adopted, probably too.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And then my mama
Why
used to
didn't she
tell me,
confess?
she said she didn't know. I said, so you slept with both men? And she's on, I
Shut.
got pregnant. I didn't know who
What
was
the
my,
fuck? As soon as you
yeah,
come
she didn't
out
know
looking
who.
Asian, you know that's bullshit. As soon as you pop out, like, oh,
Yeah,
no, come on, don't bullshit me. We're not.
yeah,
People aren't that damn dumb and shit.
yeah.
That's fucked
I
up.
just recently got baby pictures found from that side of the family they've been sending me. I was like,
Oh,
"How
you have
did
to
you
send us
not
some so we
know?"
can. Yeah, send
I
some of that
will.
to me so we can use it and stuff. I like
I
that.
will.
That's fucking crazy. All right, so I'm gonna ask you another question here. So, can you share a memorable anecdote from your high school years that has had a lasting impact? You know, you had a lot of hardships growing up. You said you had hardships as a teenager. You graduated from Modesto, but was there anything in high school? You know, because you said you didn't have friends, but was there anything in high school that stood out that made you want to become a nurse, or
So I
anything that's
actually
memorable that was a positive in your high school years?
so one in kindergarten, I knew I wanted to be a nurse when we were doing Christmas caroling at the skilled nursing facility across the street. I loved it. I loved the skilled nursing. And so I was like, I want to be here. I want to hang out with all of
Well, you
them.
did. You said you did Christmas caroling at the nursing home.
Uh-huh.
You could sing.
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Yes. But in high school, I thought I wanted to be like I took FFA, I was packing mules, I loved biology, I loved anatomy, it was amazing. But I thought I wanted to be an architect in high school.
Oh, you
And
could have
then
been.
I made a friend, Belinda, and this was up at Sonora High. I had shared some stories, some past things with my friend Belinda. She's the only girl I really stayed her at her house. And I shared something that happened to me, some a traumatic event that had happened with one of my uncles. And
Are we gonna get into that?
yeah.
Okay. I don't want to touch anything that's
No.
uncomfortable though.
Oh,
All right.
nothing's
All right.
uncomfortable, trust me. We're good. I had let her know about me being molested
Mm.
and from 3 to 12.
Most women,
And
there's one out of every five women are raped, and most of the time it's often by
yep,
family members, somebody you know. That's right.
yep. So, what impacted me is that I told her not to say anything, but she told the counselor.
Of course, because
And that was huge for me
did you
because
break your trust?
no, it didn't. It didn't. At first, I was angry because I was like, why would you tell? I had already confronted the family about it in Georgia before
Mm.
we moved, and I was
Was
slapped in the face.
this is a white family member?
Yes.
Motherfucking country ass wanna fuck their cousins and shit.
Yeah. And
At least you ain't growing up in Chowchilla.
right. Right. So she told the counselor, and they sent CPS, of course, came and talked to me, and they sent a sheriff to my house to arrest him. And my family, my mom and my grandma had hid him underneath
What the fuck?
the storage. Yeah.
So your mama knew about this,
Yes.
and she wanted to hide him instead of punishing him.
Yes.
How does that make you feel?
Oh, it made me very angry because how did you allow a man who was hurting me in your own home and you were forcing me to go with all the
And your
time
mom's supposed to do what? What's your mama's job?
to protect me?
So why do you think she did that? What was the rationale and purpose behind it? Have you asked her that?
I have. And she gets very defensive and says, I know, I'm just a bad mom. I'm just a bad mom.
Oh, so
Yeah.
deflecting her emotions and won't face
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Mm. Is
Yeah.
that guy still alive?
Yes.
Is he in prison or free?
No, he's free. They made
That's
me tell
fucked
the
up.
police, they made me tell CPS that I lied
Your
and
mama
all of that.
did.
Mhm.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's
You wanna
crazy,
know what
right?
else? Later
Yeah.
on, at 20, almost 21, I took in his 4 stepdaughters, and I ended up adopting them to protect them.
That's craziness, huh? Was
Yeah.
he trying to? You said his stepdaughters,
Yeah.
so he was trying to do the same thing to them.
We weren't sure, and we still don't know, but I adopted the
Okay,
older 4.
but is there nobody in your family that can, do things to take care of this issue? There's no men
No.
in your life that could take care of this issue once and
No.
for all?
No.
Because if anybody did that to my kids, we'd have to take a trip to Arizona desert or somewhere and shit. Because that's
Mhm.
craziness. Like, I don't get
Take it
that
to the
shit.
train
That's
station. I don't know if you watch
oh,
Yellowstone,
that's
but
right. Just like on Yellowstone, take them to the train station. We're going to the train station. I know, but it's crazy because that's one thing I
it
can't
is.
stand.
Yeah.
Is why do you got to fuck with kids and shit? I don't get that
Yeah.
shit.
And we'll
That's
dive
fucked
more
up.
into that because there's a lot that I'm even more so dealing with in regards to that.
All right. Well, that's a perfect place to let off. So we're gonna end here for our episode one of our mini series with tell me don't be making me mad. Alicia.
Alicia,
Alicia. See, but
Alicia.
it's not fucking spelled that way.
That's my mama's fault.
It's spelled Alicia. That's Alicia, not fucking
Yeah.
Alicia. Tresider? Tresider.
Tresitter. Tresitter.
Tresider.
Mhm.
That's your fucking husband's fault.
Yeah.
Tresider. Alicia.
Tresitter.
One more time. Say it one more time.
Alicia Tresitter.
Alicia. Alicia Tresider.
There you go.
All right, so we're gonna end right here, and hopefully you guys come back for part two because there's gonna be at least 4 parts now because this is good. I like this shit. All right, bitches. We appreciate you joining us on Transformation Nurse Academy podcast. Remember, this is part one of the episode with Alicia Tresider. All right,
Ooh,
bitches.
look at you.
All right, you have a good day.